I began my career as an actor. I began working in commercials and TV and film, and then I was drawn to the theater. I thought there was something special about the unique relationship between an audience in the theater and the actor or the performance that was being done in the same time, in the same room, breathing the same air. So I was immediately taken by the power of the theater. So I spent many years here learning the craft of acting, going to a conservatory at University of Miami. And while I was here, I met Professor Mel Schroeder, who was one of the heads of the acting program. And he was a big classical actor. He and his wife both taught at University of Miami. And he really had a passion for the classics and wanted me to really spend some time with the classics. And, you know, I grew up here in Miami, and the classics didn't seem very appealing to me, but he was persistent, and he saw something in me that I didn't see. So eventually I made my way to the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts to study Shakespeare and the classics. And from there, I graduated and moved to New York with the dream of becoming an actor, much like the actors who I admired. And those actors tended to work at specific theaters, the big regional theaters, or the Negro Ensemble Company in New York. And I spent the next, I'm going to say 20 years of my career working in regional theater and working in the classics. I had the great opportunity to become company members at some pretty reputable theaters in America, and working in the repertory system. So that means that, you know, one week I could do, you know, 4 or 5 different plays, so the audience could come for a matinee and see one production, come back that evening, and it'd be a completely different production. So that was an invaluable experience for me as an actor. It really stretched me. I got a chance to do some roles that you know, I'd only studied in school, but didn't have the privilege to play. And eventually my taste started leading me towards directing. All of the theaters that I admired had one central component, was that the community had an agency to that theater. My theater, of course, growing up was Coconut Grove Theater, and I was sort of, you know, passionate about what was being presented at Coconut Grove. And as my career expanded, I went on to other theaters like Arena Stage in Washington, D.C., Baltimore Center Stage. And I realized I wanted to become an artistic director so I could really engage the community, be in conversation with them about the work that was being presented, what stories were being told on their stages, and hopefully have a conversation as opposed to sort of a transactional relationship where they just buy tickets and come. So I went back to graduate school to study directing with Ann Bogart and Brian Kulick at Columbia University School of the Arts. And that was a profound period in my life, being around such highly esteemed, smart artists. And from there, just got into directing and have enjoyed it immensely, working with different teams of collaborators to bring stories.